Let's go through the 39 books that I hope to read in the month of May. Let's go genre by genre. So first up for fantasy, we have Bury Our Bones in Midnight Soil. I'm so excited for this. V. Schwab's one of my favorite fantasy authors of all time. We have The Hurricane Wars, which I hear is a very good romantasy book. River of Shadows, which is the first book in the Underworld Gods series. Melancholy, which I don't know much about, but I think it's like a mythology retelling book. A Swift and Sudden Exit, I'm so excited. This is like a queer sci-fi fantasy book with like time travel. A Study in Drowning, which has been on my TBR for far too long, and I'm finally gonna read it. And lastly, my book club on Discord voted for Red Queen for our book for this month, which I'm very excited to read. I've heard it's amazing. If you want to read along, check out my Discord. Jumping over to thrillers, the first one is my most anticipated release of this entire year. This is The Woman in Suite 11 by Ruth Ware. This is like the follow-up novel to The Woman in Cabin 10, which is the book that got me into reading. This one is an arc. It comes out on the 8th of July. For other arcs that are thrillers, we have Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell. I'm reading this at the end of the month because my book podcast is doing our episode in June on this one, and we're doing that episode on the first week of June, so I'm gonna read this at the end of the month so that my mind is like fresh on it. This book comes out on the 24th of June, by the way. Then we have The Safari by Jacqueline Goldis. I absolutely love her thriller mystery book so much. This one looks amazing. This one comes out on the 20th of May. We have Parents Weekend by Alex Finley, which I'm currently reading right now. This one comes out on the 6th of May. The Bachelorette Party, which is another really fun thriller. This one comes out in June. Then we have Freddie McFadden's The Tenant. This is her newest book that comes out this week. This is what my podcast is doing our May episode on. We have Run Unread, which will be my first from this author, and I've heard her books are incredible. Brain Damage by Freddie McFadden. I think I'm down to my last 4 books of hers that I need to read still, and then I'll have read every single book she's written. The Collective by Allison Galen and A Talent for Murder, which are both carry over from my April TBR that I just didn't get to. A couple miscellaneous books that are like literary fiction or contemporary fiction. We have My Friends by Frederick Bachman and The Family Recipe. We have a huge stack of romance books. I love reading romance this time of year, so we have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid, Overdrive, which is an F1 romance, Love Naturally, which I just picked up on Independent Bookstore Day. Also planning to read Offside by Avery Keelan. I think this was indie published previously, but now it's being published by Bramble, and this one comes out in July. Marriage and Mosty, which I've heard is incredible. Home Field Advantage, which is a queer romance, and Once Upon You and Me, which is another queer romance. 32 Days in May, which comes out this month. We have Room Hate, which has these gorgeous sprayed edges. Pole Position, another racing romance. Crash Landing, which is a second chance romance. One Italian Summer, which I'm reading on a book retreat I'm very excited for. Despair, which is a billionaire romance. Spring Flame, which I know nothing about, but the cover is adorable. A lot like Adios. I'm very excited. I've heard it's amazing. And Between Friends and Lovers. And then lastly, we have a little book of poetry called Goldenrod. And that's all of them. We'll see how many I actually read. I think I read like 29 books in April, so 39 is like a stretch, but it's not that much of a stretch. But with that being said, if there's any books on this list that you think I absolutely need to prioritize, please let me know and I will definitely read those. Of course, I'll update you guys each week with what I've read, and then at the end of the month with a full wrap up.